Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. The political thinker that we'll be talking about today is Aristotle, and especially the views of Aristotle on the government and states, the good, bad and the ugly. We at least know this very common phrase, man by nature is a political animal, a famous quote by Aristotle. According to the ancient Greeks, things were decided according to their purpose. Everything had a purpose. And for Aristotle, the purpose of the state was theological. That means it existed for a definitive meaning or an end. And it defines human beings and the state in a very typical fashion. To him, what he says, how we differ from animals is that we have moral values and a moral sense which differs us from the animals, and this is what keeps us organized in a different fashion. And this is the key or the bedrock to Aristotle's idea. He was born in Macedonia in ancient Greece in 384 BCE. He was the son of a doctor who was the doctor of the king of Mesopotamia. He got a chance to learn with high-end teachers, and at the age of 17 he joined his famous teacher, again a great personality, Plato. He was the student of Plato. Aristotle was gifted in a way that not only did he get a very great teacher in the form of Plato, but he also had a great student in the form of Alexander the Great. Both Plato and Aristotle were in agreement as to the purpose of the state, but where Aristotle differed from his teacher Plato was in the means of achieving that purpose. According to Plato, quality of the state is equals to the quality of the citizens. If the state is well, automatically it applies that the citizens are also well. Hence what Plato says is that you require social engineering. So according to him, censorship, common property and rule by the enlightened elite is what constitutes the quality of the state, and this is what is required to achieve its goal. But according to Aristotle, who had a very keen understanding of the human nature, he had more faith in people and thought that family units and private properties are a bedrock to a very stable society. Hence coming to the first idea of the aim of the household. So now, as the basic unit, what is the purpose of the household? And defining that purpose is very important because it defines the purpose of the state. And here comes the discussion on slavery or slaves, as slaves are an important part of the household. According to Aristotle, everything in nature has an intended purpose, and that purpose is extremely important to understand. And he says, yes, slavery is intended by nature, and the justifications or arguments that come along with it is that some people are born as rulers and some people are born to be ruled. Some people are born superior to the others. Some are suited for politics, some are suited for household work, as some are suited for the menial jobs. Here is where he defends slavery. In the modern context, we see similar arguments being used for the justification of the caste system. A simple justification given that by nature or by the creation of God, some people are born to read and write, some people are born to do economic business, or some people are bound to do trade, some people are born as warriors, and some are born to do menial and scavenging jobs. The problem with Aristotle's argument is that he doesn't lead it to the logical conclusion. Like if slave is given certain opportunities, like an opportunity to educate himself, or if a slave is intelligent enough as to not only run the household, but he has educated enough, or he has educated himself and can even run a business. He can even run a state. But why this happened? Why did Aristotle justify slavery? Or why do we have the justifications of a caste system in the present times? It is because during the time of Aristotle, the whole Greek city-state system rested on slavery. And Aristotle knew it very well that removing this support will lead to crumbling of the state. So what is the purpose of the state then? How the purpose of the state is defined? According to Plato, a state should be fully unified and social and cultural life fully controlled. These are the philosophical arguments of a political state that ultimately gives rise to what we call as the hyper-nationalism. But according to Aristotle, a state becomes stronger with plurality of voices. A state becomes stronger with pluralities of traditions and ideas. In one of his novels, Schema, Aristotle divides the governments into the correct form and the deviant form. The way in which they are ruled, the correct form of that rule, and the deviant form of that rule. If ruled by a single person, the correct form according to Aristotle is the kingship, and its deviant form is tyranny. If ruled by many, the correct form is aristocracy, and the deviant form is oligarchy. Oligarchy meaning the rule by the rich elite, and to which Aristotle warns that if in a state the economic inequality between its citizens increases, a democracy will transition into an oligarchy. What we see today with these big corporations and this capitalism, it is ultimately a form of oligarchy that is running the state. This was all about the Aristotelian views on politics and Aristotle's idea on how the government and state should be recognized. Hope to see you soon in the next lecture with the new political ideas and new political thought and a new thinker. Till then, thank you very much.